Alright, so this is the blue group sort for this week, and so I'm just going to quickly read through the words, and if there are any that you don't know what they mean, you should pause the video and stop to look them up in a dictionary or on an online dictionary. Suppose, postage, poster, erode, explode, soldier, awoke, remote, compose, alone, decode, hostess, lonely, lonesome, approach, coaster, soapy, loafer, toaster, below, lower, bowling, Europe, and owner. So as I read those words, I noticed that they all had something in common, and what they had in common is they all have the long O sound, the long O vowel sound, meaning that you hear the O say its name. Now what I want you to do first is to do a sort by sound, and we're looking at, like we've done in previous weeks, where we hear the O sound, meaning in which syllable. So I've already done it with a few of them, but I'll demonstrate. If we're looking at this word, let's do a different one. Poster. I'm looking at where I hear the long O sound, poster. And in order to determine which syllable it is, we need to know where syllable 1 starts and ends and where syllable 2 starts. So the syllable juncture. And to do that, you want to break the word into chunks and draw a line to help you determine where that juncture is. So poster, poster. So here's syllable 1 and here's syllable 2. And clearly the long O sound is in the first syllable. If we look at erode, erode, erode. First syllable, second syllable. And that long O sound is in the second syllable. Now, this might be something you are already very familiar with and you don't need to draw the line, but as you're learning how to determine where the different syllables are in a word, it sometimes helps to make that visual and to draw the line. So feel free to do that if it helps you. We'll just do one more. Awoke, awoke. So the long O sound is in the second syllable. And so then I'm going to clump all of my words that have the long O sound in the first syllable together and in the second syllable together. And so I'll just do a few more together. Decode, second syllable. Hostess, first syllable. Compose, second syllable. And this one's interesting because it does have an O in the first syllable, but when we really slow down and listen, compose, the O, long O sound, is only in the second syllable. Alright, so go ahead and pause your video here and continue on and sort the rest of your words, first by syllable, where you hear the long vowel sound, and then hit play when you're done to double check. Okay, so now that you're done sorting, your sort should look something like this, with your first syllable sounds here and your second syllable long O sound over here. And the way to check your sort is to remind yourself, okay, what is the category, and say the heading, and then check through each word by reading it out loud. So it should have the long O sound in the first syllable. And so I'm really going to emphasize the syllable, the long O sound in the syllable to make sure it's in the first one. Poster, hostess, bowling, toaster, coaster, loafer, soapy, approach. Oops. So clearly that one doesn't belong there. And so by checking, because often when we just go really fast, we might make a careless error. Lonesome, lonely, owner, lower, soldier, postage. Alright, second syllable. Awoke, erode, decode, compose, below, suppose, approach, explode, remote, alone, And then hopefully you found the oddball Europe, which is an oddball because although it has a pattern of a vowel, consonant, and an E, like many of the other words, it does not have the long O sound. We don't say Europe, it's Europe. So that is why that one is an oddball. Okay, so now what I want you to do is a second sort with those words. And so I'm just going to sort of put these ones aside for a moment. So we'll have it broken down by syllable, sound, and then by pattern. And so what I mean by that is we're going to look at these words for the moment, and the first ones that probably stuck out to you, and they stick out to me right away, is the OA pattern. So loafer would probably go with that one. And soapy. Okay. And I see an OW pattern that happens a few times. So I might start a category there. And then I know that we have the vowel, consonant, and an E to make the long vowel sound. So that's a category. So again, pause the video here and continue on doing the pattern sort now with your words. And I want you to do both the first syllable ones and the second syllable ones after. So what you'll end up having is two different groups of words, the first and the second syllables, and then further broken down into the patterns that are used in order to create the long vowel sound. Hit play when you're ready. All right, so what you should end up having is something that looks like this, where you've got your vowel, consonant, E creating the long O. And so we've got lonely, lonesome, awoke, suppose, and a bunch more. You'll see that again in a minute, so don't worry. Then we've got the OW. Here's our first syllable, second syllable. These ones only were forming words in the first syllable ones, and it's formed by the vowel, the consonant, and a consonant. For example, in poster, the O is the vowel, of course, and then the S and the T are the consonants. And then over here we have the O and the A, the vowel, vowel, and then approach down here. And then, of course, Europe, our one oddball. So then what we would do is go onto our recording sheet where it should look something like this. And so what I've done in order to show both sorts that we did is I wrote the pattern categories at the top. So we've got the vowel, consonant, consonant, the vowel, consonant, E, the vowel, vowel as the OA, and the vowel, vowel where the W acts as a vowel, and we have OW. And what this sort of darker scribbled line indicates is all the words above the line are first syllable long O sounds, and the ones below are second syllable long O sounds with our oddball down there. And you can see it's kind of messy, and I had to squeeze some in because we had a lot in one category, and that's okay. You just write it as neat as you possibly can. So for the rest of the week, you've completed one of your 4 sorts, so you need to do 3 others, whether it's a word hunt, an open sort, a blind sort, or a speed sort. Refer to this video as much as you need. Hit pause if you need to take a closer look at the final sorted list with the declared categories, and happy Word Work Week.